Today, I want to talk to you about a fundamental aspect of personal finance. Now, I understand it's not as sexy as talking about passive income or investing for retirement or paying off debt, but this is a fundamental aspect of financial well-being because it's going to help you lessen the amount of stress that you experience. It'll also help give you peace of mind and achieve financial security. Hey everyone, I'm Jason and welcome back. If you're new to this channel, and chances are you are new, this channel is dedicated to helping you live your best life through conversations on health, wealth, and mindset. So in this channel, I will be talking about personal finance and lifestyle choices that help us live our best lives. I'm sure you've watched a number of videos on emergency funds, you've read and listened to the financial gurus telling you how important it is, but I can bet, and I'm not a betting man, that you're probably doing emergency funds wrong. The reason you're probably doing emergency funds wrong is that you are just stashing and storing your money into one savings account. So let me back up a bit. What is an emergency fund? An emergency fund is a savings account where you stash and store money for emergencies, those unexpected bills, and also for periods of unemployment and underemployment. The main problem with one savings account for emergencies is that we tap into it for anything we deem as an emergency. So when the big emergency arrives, we don't have enough to cover our basic living expenses. That is pretty stressful. I thought I was doing everything right. I had an emergency fund. I was stashing and storing 3 to 6 months of money into that fund. But every time that there was an unexpected bill or what I thought was an emergency, I was tapping into it. So by the time I became unemployed, I actually did not have enough in my emergency fund in order to cover my basic living expenses. So you can imagine, I was extremely stressed, I was frustrated, I was angry at myself. Through the years, I've realized how we've been doing and teaching emergency funds wrong. That one savings account is used to cover things like a flat tire, a medical debt, or periods of unemployment and underemployment. Well, there's going to be a time where there's not enough money for the huge, big emergencies. So I will challenge you to rethink emergency funds and think of an emergency fund savings strategy. The goal of this is to create multiple savings accounts to help you manage your money better for these periods of unemployment and for those moments those unexpected bills arrive in the mail. Emergency savings fund has 2 accounts. The first account is the rainy day fund. The rainy day fund is exactly what it sounds like. It's used for those rainy days. Now, you've probably heard Dave Ramsey tell you that you need $1,000 on your Dave Ramsey Savings Emergency Fund. Although I may not agree entirely with Dave Ramsey's method, he's absolutely correct when it comes to that $1,000 savings. The $1,000 savings in an emergency fund, or what I like to call a rainy day fund, will help you cover those periods where you get that unexpected medical bill, when you get that flat tire, or when your furnace breaks. You're able to tap into this rainy day fund for those daily, periodic emergencies that you did not account for in your budget. So how much should you have in a rainy day fund? $1,000 in this rainy day fund to help cover those periods where we get that unexpected bill or that expense that we didn't account for in our budget. The second account on this emergency fund savings strategy is the opportunity fund. Now you're wondering, why is it called an opportunity fund? It's to turn something negative, such as unemployment and underemployment, into something positive. I have been unemployed, I've been underemployed, and I know the stress, the feeling, the frustration we all go through when we don't have income coming in and we have all these bills and expenses we need to pay for. The goal of the opportunity fund is to help you pay your basic living expenses while you've regained back your time. If you followed me on social media and if you've heard me talk, I stress the most valuable resource that we possess is our time. Our time is extremely valuable, and most of us exchange our time for a paycheck. And sure, that paycheck is used to pay for our living expenses and some of the things that we need and want and for our goals. What happens when we become unemployed and underemployed is that we get back our time. And so by thinking of that as an opportunity to use our time to explore new interests, to find a new career, to spend more time with family and friends, well, that's an opportunity we may not have had if we were spending all our time at work. How much should you have in an opportunity fund? Well, the traditional emergency fund requires you to have 3 to 6 months. My opportunity fund, I challenge you to have 6 to 9 months of your basic living expenses. I'm not talking about your monthly income, I'm talking about your basic living expenses. That means how much are you paying for your rent or your mortgage, for your insurance, for your utilities, and for your food. All the basic necessities you need to pay for to ensure your health and your security. Now, you shouldn't worry if you don't have 6 to 9 months in an opportunity fund because you can start small. And that's the beauty of this emergency fund saving strategy. I want you to start small. I want you to start with your rainy day fund. Open up a savings account, title it Rainy Day Fund, set it for $500 or $1,000, start contributing to it. $5, $10, $20 per paycheck until you've achieved that $500 mark and then the $1,000 mark. Then start working on building your opportunity fund. I challenge you to have 6 to 9 months. 6 to 9 months will ensure that you have enough money saved to cover your basic living expenses, so you're not worried about trying to find any job. You are more intentional about the type of work you're going to go back into to earn that paycheck. So what are some of the qualities of these emergency funds? These emergency funds need to be accessible to you. Now, I know some people are gonna say, nope, keep the emergency fund far away so you don't tap into them. But I tend to believe if you are intentional, if you are mindful, if you title these accounts accordingly, then you know that the money that you've saved is meant for these specific purposes. Because when you start allocating your dollar to specific things, you're never going to wonder where it went. You're going to truly understand what it's used for. So having 2 accounts under this emergency fund saving strategy, the rainy day fund and the opportunity fund, you'll know exactly what you're saving for, and it's going to be more difficult for you to tap into them for things that aren't related to an emergency. Should you worry about the interest you're earning with your emergency funds? Well, there's a twofold answer to that. One, you shouldn't worry too much about the interest you're earning on your rainy day fund. That's because you're most likely going to be tapping into your rainy day fund occasionally, depleting it, and then replenishing it. The goal of the rainy day fund isn't to earn money, it's to give you peace of mind and access to cash when you need it. Earning interest on a rainy day fund isn't a top priority. When it comes to an opportunity fund, which may have thousands and thousands of dollars, it is important to start looking at the interest rate you will be earning. However, there is another process that I'll go into in a new video on how you could use a CD ladder strategy. But for the purpose of this emergency fund saving strategy, I implore you, I ask you, I challenge you to open up your 2 savings account, your rainy day, your opportunity fund, and start protecting your financial health. Now it's your turn. Do you have an emergency fund? And what has been some of your challenges in funding your emergency fund? Comment below. And again, I want to thank you all. And remember, if you love this content, give it a like and subscribe to this channel, because there are going to be some more awesome, amazing conversations that I'll have with you to help you master money and live your best life. I'm Jason, and I'll see you next time.